Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as Podcast. Today, we're diving deep into the life and career of, well, a global icon, Shakira.
Yeah. Are you ready to shake things up a bit?
I think we are.
Her story is incredible, like full of twists and turns and, global influences and that energy that's made her a superstar.
Yeah, and, it all starts in Barranquilla, Colombia.
Right.
Not your typical pop star origin story, is it?
Not at all.
But that's where it all began for her. And her heritage is a really amazing mix of Lebanese, Colombian, and Spanish.
It really is.
How do you think that shaped her sound?
I think it's foundational. Her father's family was Lebanese. Her mother's had Spanish roots, including a Catalan branch. So imagine all those sounds and traditions kind of swirling around her from her childhood. It's no wonder she blends genres so effortlessly. It's in her DNA.
And she was writing songs at 8 years old. I mean, 8.
It's unbelievable.
I was still trying to figure out how to ride a bike without training wheels.
Right.
What do you think sparked that creative drive so early?
Well, there's a story that at 4 years old, she saw a belly dancer at a restaurant, and that's what sparked her love for movement and rhythm.
Oh, wow.
So maybe the songwriting followed naturally from that early connection to music and expression.
Wow. So maybe those iconic hip movements were there from the very beginning.
It's certainly possible. And then, think about this. At 13, she released her first album, Magia.
Yeah.
It didn't exactly set the charts on fire, but talk about ambition.
I mean, yeah.
Most kids that age are worried about, homework, not record deals.
Right. But then at 16, she enters this big music festival in Chile.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the judges is, wait for it, Ricky Martin.
Wow.
He was already a huge star. What was the significance of that moment, do you think?
Well, talk about an early sign, Even though she only won third place, that exposure must have been incredible. It's like the universe was saying, get ready, world, Shakira's coming.
Yeah, it's like one of those Star is Born moments.
It really is.
You can practically see the montage in your head.
Yeah.
Young Shakira full of dreams.
Taking the stage. And she didn't let those early setbacks hold her back. You think about those first two albums.
Well,
not huge successes, but she kept going.
Yeah.
And then came the breakthrough Pies Descalzos, Bare Feet.
Bare Feet, what a title. And what an album.
Amazing.
This is where you really hear that signature Shakira sound taking shape.
Yeah.
Rock, Latin pop, and lyrics that were both catchy and introspective.
Oh, yeah.
Estoy aquí, Pies Descalzos, Sueños Blancos. These songs were anthems.
They were.
Dude.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about the music. Her lyrics often touched on themes of, love, loss, social justice, things that resonated with young people, especially young women who were looking for someone to speak their truth. That depth combined with the melodies is what made her such a force.
And then came Donde Están los Ladrones? Where Are the Thieves?
Yeah.
The title was inspired by a real event. She had a suitcase full of lyrics stolen at an airport.
I know, it's crazy.
Talk about a songwriter's nightmare.
Can you imagine?
I can't even imagine.
It's amazing how she turned that negative experience into fuel for her creativity.
Exactly.
This album solidified her dominance in Latin America, topping the U.S. Latin albums chart for weeks. Ciega, Sorda Muda, o es así. She was pushing boundaries, showcasing her vocal range, and the world was taking notice.
For sure. And then her MTV Unplugged performance, what a moment.
Incredible.
It was the first all-Spanish episode of the show. How did that impact her career, do you think?
It was a game changer. Not only did it receive critical acclaim, but it brought her music to a much wider international audience.
Right.
She proved that language wasn't a barrier to connecting with fans, and it set the stage for her English language debut.
Yeah, speaking of which, a laundry service just exploded onto the global scene.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever, wherever, underneath your clothes, objection, tango, these songs were everywhere.
I know.
Huge.
It was a massive crossover success, selling over 13 million copies worldwide. And while some critics at the time questioned if it was Latin enough, I think it showed her genius for blending pop rock and Latin rhythms in a way that was both authentic and universally appealing.
Yeah.
She even sang about her Colombian heritage on Whenever, Wherever, which became a global anthem.
Yeah, I remember some people saying she was selling out, but she was doing what great artists do.
Totally.
Evolving while staying true to their roots. Before we go any further,
Huh.
I have to remind everyone to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our fascinating deep dives on Tell Me More.
Yeah, please do.
We've got some incredible stories coming up.
I can't wait to share them.
Okay, back to Shakira. She's never been afraid to experiment and collaborate.
Nope.
Wyclef Jean on Hips Don't Lie, Beyoncé on Beautiful Liar, Freshly Ground on Waka Waka, each one a smash hit.
Everyone.
What stands out to you about her approach to these collaborations?
Yeah. It's how she consistently pushes boundaries.
Mhm.
She's not afraid to try different genres, whether it's pop rock, Latin rhythms, even electronic and world music influences. Yet she always maintains that core Shakira sound, that distinct vibe that's instantly recognizable.
Yeah, it's like she's a musical chameleon.
Right.
But there's always that thread of her own unique artistry connecting it all. What do you think it is about her music that resonates with such a wide audience?
I think it's the combination of passion and authenticity. Her music is infused with her personal experiences, her cultural heritage, and her deep commitment to social justice. It all comes together to create this powerful and captivating artistic expression.
And those dance moves, those hips don't lie.
They don't.
It's become such an iconic part of her persona.
It really has.
How do you see her dancing fitting into her overall artistry?
It's a brilliant fusion of Latin styles and Middle Eastern belly dancing, a nod to her Lebanese roots. And she often performs barefoot, which adds a sense of raw energy and vulnerability to her performances. Did you know she actually learned to belly dance as a teenager to overcome shyness?
No way. I can't imagine Shakira being shy.
It's a reminder that even the most confident performers have their own insecurities, but she transformed that shyness into a strength, a powerful form of self-expression. And I think that authenticity, that willingness to be vulnerable, is what connects with her audience on such a deep level.
It's incredible to think about how far she's come from those early days in Barranquilla.
I know, it's amazing.
She's broken records, sold millions of albums, won countless awards. But it's more than just the numbers, right?
It is. She's paved the way for other Latin artists to achieve global success.
Mhm.
She's shown the world power of embracing one's culture and identity, and her story is far from over.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, but there's so much more to explore. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll delve deeper into Shakira's philanthropic work, her evolution as an artist, and what her legacy might be.
I'm ready when you are. So welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as Podcast. We're still in the middle of our deep dive into the life and career of the one and only Shakira.
Yeah, before the break, we were talking about her incredible journey from those early days in Barranquilla
Right.
to global superstardom,
Totally.
and how she's really kind of broken down barriers for Latin artists,
She has.
proving that language is no barrier
Exactly.
to connecting with audiences worldwide.
Amazing.
But let's not forget about her philanthropic work.
Oh, yeah.
She started the Pies Descalzos Foundation,
Yay.
Barefoot Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
when she was just 18 years old.
18 years old.
What do you think about that?
I mean, it's mind-blowing. Most 18-year-olds are focused on getting their driver's license. And she's out there starting a foundation to provide education for underprivileged children in Colombia. It speaks volumes about her commitment to making a difference.
It really doesn't. It's not just about writing a check.
No.
She's actively involved, visiting schools, meeting with children and families, and advocating for better educational opportunities. That level of dedication is truly inspiring.
It is.
You know, it shows that even with global fame and fortune, she never forgot where she came from and the importance of giving back.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, Shakira is definitely not one to rest on her laurels.
No.
Just look at her recent projects, the album El Dorado, the Super Bowl performance with Jennifer Lopez and Las Mujeres, Ya No Lorraine.
I mean, these projects showcase her continued evolution as an artist and her ability to stay relevant across decades.
Right.
El Dorado, which means the golden one, topped the Billboard Top Latin Albums chart, making her the first woman to achieve #1 albums across 4 different decades on that chart.
That's incredible. Talk about making history.
Yeah.
And that Super Bowl performance, it was iconic.
Oh my gosh.
The energy, the Latin pride, the celebration of culture, just pure powerhouse femininity.
It was exact. She and J.Lo brought so much to that stage, and it sparked important conversations about representation and the power of Latino women in the entertainment industry. It wasn't just entertainment, it was a cultural moment.
And then there's Las Mujeres, Ya No Lorraine, or Women Don't Cry Anymore.
Such a powerful title.
Very powerful.
What were your thoughts on this album?
I found it incredibly moving and introspective.
Okay.
Thematically, it touches on heartbreak resilience and female empowerment. Musically, it's so diverse, blending prop Latin rhythms and even some trap influences. She's constantly evolving and pushing boundaries while staying true to her core artistic vision.
It feels like each album is a new chapter in her life,
It does.
reflecting her personal growth and evolving perspective on the world. But it's not just the music, right? Shakira is this multifaceted creative force.
Yeah.
Singer, songwriter, dancer, musician, performer. How do you see these different elements working together? She weaves them together so seamlessly. Her music is infused with her personal experiences, her cultural heritage, her political views, and her passion for social justice. It all comes together to create this unique and powerful artistic expression.
Yeah, her music truly is a global fusion. You can hear influences from Colombia, Lebanon, Spain, the Middle East, even India.
Yeah.
It's like a musical passport to the world.
It is, and that's what makes it so captivating. Her sound is rooted in her diverse heritage, but it also embraces rhythms and melodies from all corners of the globe. She masterfully blends genres, incorporating elements of pop rock, Latin rhythms, electronic music, and even folk music.
And you can't talk about Shakira without mentioning her dancing.
Oh, no.
Those hips don't lie.
They do not.
It's become such an iconic part of her persona.
Yeah.
What do you think makes her dancing so captivating?
It's that unique blend of Latin styles with the sensual fluid movements of Middle Eastern belly dancing. And remember, she often performs barefoot, adding this raw energy and vulnerability that's incredibly compelling.
We talked earlier about how she learned to belly dance to overcome shyness. Do you think that early experience of transforming insecurity into strength played a role in her development as an artist and a philanthropist?
It's definitely a fascinating connection to consider. That ability to take something perceived as a weakness and turn it into a powerful form of expression is a recurring theme in her life. It's evident in her music, her dancing, and even her activism.
It's like she's constantly challenging herself and the world around her
Yes.
to break free from limitations and embrace the fullness of who we are. And she's done it with such incredible grace and authenticity.
She has. It's hard to deny the impact Shakira has had on the music industry and beyond. She's
Yeah.
broken records, sold millions of albums, and won countless awards. But her legacy is about so much more than that, wouldn't you say?
I think so too. She's paved the way for other Latin artists, challenged stereotypes, and inspired millions with her music and her message of hope and empowerment.
Mm.
It's incredible to see how she's used her platform to advocate for social justice and equality.
She's a true role model both on and off the stage. And speaking of her platform, we have to talk about her social media presence. She has over 75 million followers on Twitter alone. She's incredibly savvy about using social media to connect with fans, share her music, and promote her philanthropic work.
It's amazing to think about the global community she's cultivated. She uses her voice to speak out against injustice, poverty, and inequality. She's a true champion for education, especially for young girls, and she's never been afraid to challenge the status quo or use her voice to advocate for positive change.
She's a testament to the power of using one's platform for good. She's not just an entertainer, she's an activist, a voice for the voiceless and an inspiration to millions. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something more personal. Her relationship with Gerard Piqué, the Spanish footballer, was a major part of her life for over a decade.
Yeah, it was a high-profile relationship that captured the attention of the media worldwide, and while they ultimately decided to separate, it's clear that they both remain committed to co-parenting their two sons, Milan and Sasha.
They seem like a perfect match, both incredibly successful in their respective fields, both passionate about their work and their family. It's a reminder that even the most seemingly perfect relationships can face challenges.
And that sometimes the best path forward is to let go with grace and respect. It's admirable how Shakira has maintained her focus on her children and her career throughout this transition, demonstrating incredible strength and resilience as both a mother and an artist.
Speaking of resilience, we can't ignore the recent tax controversy she's been dealing with in Spain. It's been all over the news, and it must have been incredibly stressful for her to navigate this legal battle.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even global superstars aren't immune to challenges and scrutiny.
Right.
The case highlighted the complexities of international tax law, and ultimately Shakira chose to settle with Spanish authorities paying a significant fine.
It's a testament to her character that she chose to put this behind her and move forward with grace and dignity, and I have no doubt that she'll continue to create incredible music, inspire millions of fans, and use her platform to make a positive impact on the world.
Absolutely, her story is far from over. I'm excited to see what she does next. But before we get to our final thoughts, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible breadth and depth of Shakira's artistry. She's given us so much: the music, the dancing, the activism, the unwavering commitment to making the world a better place.
It's remarkable to think about all she's accomplished and the impact she's had on so many lives, from those early days in Barranquilla dreaming of sharing her music with the world to becoming a global icon. She stayed true to herself, her heritage, and her values.
And that's what makes her story so inspiring. It's a story of talent, hard work, resilience, and unwavering dedication to one's passions and purpose.
It's a story that reminds us that we all have the potential to make a difference in the world, no matter where we come from or what challenges we face.
I think that's a perfect note to end on. Shakira's journey is a testament to the transformative power of following your dreams, embracing your uniqueness, and using your voice to create positive change.
And as we wrap up this deep dive into her life and career, I encourage you to reflect on what her story means to you, what resonates with you, what inspires you, and how can you apply those lessons to your own life.
That's a great point. It's one thing to admire someone like Shakira from afar, but it's another thing entirely to take what we've learned from her story and use it to fuel our own passions and purpose.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but I hope this deep dive has given you a deeper appreciation for the incredible woman that is Shakira, the artist, the activist, the mother, the global icon who continues to inspire millions around the world.
Before we say goodbye, I want to remind everyone to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming deep dives on Tell Me More. We've got some incredible stories lined up, and we can't wait to share them with you.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep telling your own stories.
Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast. We've journeyed through Shakira's early life, her rise to stardom, her philanthropic work, and even delved a bit into her personal life. But as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm curious what stands out to you as her most significant legacy.
It's a tough question. There's so much to choose from, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it comes back to that incredible ability to connect with people across cultures and languages. She's created this global community through her music, her dance, and her message of hope and empowerment.
I totally agree. It's like she's broken down those walls that divide us and shown the world that music can be a universal language, a way to celebrate our shared humanity. And speaking of breaking down walls, how do you think her career has impacted the perception of Latin artists in the global music industry?
She's been a true trailblazer. Before Shakira, it was rare for a Latin artist to achieve mainstream success in the English-speaking world without sacrificing their cultural identity. She proved that it was possible to stay true to her roots while captivating a global audience, and in doing so, she opened doors for countless other Latin artists to follow in her footsteps.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about the ripple effect of her success. She's not just an artist, she's a cultural ambassador, a symbol of Latin pride, and an inspiration to aspiring musicians worldwide.
Absolutely. And let's not forget her impact on young women. She's defied expectations and shattered stereotypes, proving that women can be powerful, successful, and outspoken without compromising their femininity.
It's so empowering to see a woman like her, who's not afraid to be herself, to express her passions, and to use her voice to advocate for what she believes in.
Exactly. And she does it all with this incredible grace, energy, and joy. It's contagious, really.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Shakira's extraordinary life and career, what's the one thing you want listeners to take away from her story?
Oh, that's easy. Never underestimate the power of following your dreams, embracing your uniqueness, and using your voice to make a difference in the world. Shakira's journey is a testament to the transformative power of those three things.
Beautifully said. Shakira's story is a reminder that we all have the potential to achieve great things, to inspire others, and to leave a positive mark on the world. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey.
It's been a pleasure exploring Shakira's world with you.
And don't forget to subscribe to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcasts for more fascinating deep dives into the lives of extraordinary people. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep telling your own stories.